The first grave Elias Mercer ever dug for himself was behind the barn, beneath a crooked cottonwood tree where nobody from town would see him kneel. He lowered his revolver into the dirt slowly, almost carefully, like he was burying another version of himself. His son Caleb watched from the fence rail with muddy boots swinging. "You really done with it?" the boy asked. Elias covered the gun with soil and nodded once. That life already took enough. The ranch sat far from the nearest railroad town, surrounded by dry grasslands that turned gold at sunset. Years earlier, men used to whisper Elias Mercer's name in saloons with lowered voices. Back then he rode with killers, bounty hunters, and desperate men who solved every disagreement with gun smoke. But out there on the ranch, none of that seemed real anymore. Mornings belonged to fences, horses, and quiet coffee shared with his wife Clara on the porch, while Caleb chased chickens through the yard, pretending to be some fearless outlaw. "You missed one," Clara teased one morning, pointing toward a loose fence plank. Elias smirked. "Boy keeps making more work than coyotes." Caleb grinned proudly. "Means I'm useful." At night, the three of them ate beside lantern light, while cicadas hummed outside the windows. The silence between them felt earned. Safe. Then one afternoon, riders appeared on the southern ridge. 5 men. Dust rolled behind their horses like storm clouds. Elias saw them first while repairing the water pump. The hammer stopped in his hand before Clara even stepped outside. "You know them?" she asked quietly. He already did. The man leading them wore a black coat despite the heat. Reed Callahan. Years ago, Elias had left him bleeding after a robbery turned ugly near Wichita Crossing. Callahan smiled when he rode into the yard. "Well," he said, glancing around the ranch. Mercer became a family man. Caleb stood near the porch, staring wide-eyed at the strangers. Elias kept his voice flat. "Keep riding." Callahan dismounted slowly. Funny thing about old debts, they follow man. The gang stayed until sundown, drinking water from Elias's well and pretending they had no intentions beyond conversation. But their eyes wandered across the ranch like wolves circling livestock. Before leaving, Callahan looked toward Caleb. "That your boy?" Elias stepped closer immediately. "Don't." Callahan only smiled again. "Peaceful life you built here." That night, Clara sat awake in bed, listening to the wind push softly against the walls. "They'll come back," she whispered. Elias stared toward the dark ceiling. He already knew. The next morning, he rode into town for supplies and ammunition he prayed he would never use. The old shopkeeper noticed immediately. "Haven't seen you buy bullets in years," the man muttered. Elias answered quietly, "Hope I still don't need them." But when he returned home near dusk, smoke drifted above the ranch. His horse sprinted before he even pulled the reins. The barn burned first. Flames swallowed dry wood while terrified horses screamed inside collapsing stalls. Elias jumped down before the horse fully stopped. "Clara," he shouted. No answer. He found her beside the porch steps, wounded but alive, struggling to breathe through smoke and tears. They took him, she choked out. Everything inside Elias went still. The gang had dragged Caleb away. For one terrible second, Elias almost believed they only wanted revenge. Then he saw blood near the wagon tracks leading south. Too much blood. He followed the trail through the night beneath freezing moonlight. Every mile stripped away another piece of the man he had tried becoming. Near dawn, he found Caleb's body beside a dry riverbed wrapped in his own blanket. The boy looked small out there. Too small. Elias dropped to his knees beside him without making a sound. His hand trembled against Caleb's cold hair while the morning wind moved through the grass. "I'm sorry," he whispered. Back at the ranch, Clara sat silently at the kitchen table after the burial. Her eyes looked older now. "You can stay," she said softly, "or you can go after them." Elias stared toward the window for a long moment. Then he walked outside to the cottonwood tree. The dirt over the buried revolver had hardened under weeks of sun. Elias dug slowly until his fingers touched cold metal again. The weight of the gun felt familiar. Heavy. Shameful. He cleaned it at the porch table while evening settled over the ranch. Clara watched quietly from the doorway. "When this is over," she asked carefully, "what'll be left of you?" Elias looked toward the fading horizon. "Probably nothing," 3 nights later, Reed Callahan's gang camped near an abandoned canyon pass, believing nobody would dare follow them that far. They were wrong. The first man died while tending the fire. The second never cleared leather. Gunshots echoed violently against canyon walls while horses screamed and scattered through the dark. Elias moved through smoke and shadows with terrifying calm, like a ghost returning to unfinished business. Callahan ran deeper into the canyon, firing wildly behind him. "You should have stayed buried," he yelled. Elias finally cornered him near the cliff edge as dawn light slowly crept across the rocks. Callahan's hand shook now. "You kill me," he muttered. "You become the same man again." Elias raised the revolver, but said nothing. For a long moment, only wind moved between them. Then one shot cracked through the canyon. By sunrise, Elias rode home alone. The ranch still smelled faintly of smoke. Clara stood on the porch watching him approach without speaking. Elias dismounted slowly and placed the revolver on the porch rail between them. Neither touched it. Far beyond the fields, morning light stretched across the land Caleb used to run through laughing. And for the first time since the burial, Elias finally cried.